Hi everybody. In my more recent video, I showed you a few decks and I promised that I will go through the cards in separate videos. And so today I would like to show you the cards from the Abyssal Tarot. This was a deck that was that had been part of my wish list for a really long time. This is not new. I think this is over 10 years old. It's probably about 13 years old. And when I first saw this, I just started learning tarot. So as you can see from the images here, it would be extremely hard for someone who just started learning. I really love the dreamy, sort of otherworldly feel of this very realistic images. It's just, I love anything in between, anything that's kind of make me feel like I'm neither in one world or another is always something that I quite like. And so I'm going to flip through the cards for you first, and then we're going to talk about it a bit more perhaps. But as you can imagine, this was just sitting on my wish list for all that time, and finally in 2017 I crossed it. I finally decided to, towards the end of the year, I finally decided that I'm ready for a more abstract deck, thanks to the Ophidia Rosa, which I will talk to you in a separate video. Please be warned that the images here are explicit. Not only the images are explicit, but the poses are as well. And so what I love about this though is that it retains the original title of the artwork. So here it says The Future is the original title of that work. Here it has been framed as the Hermit, and then you have the number 9 here. Now those these Roman numeral carry on throughout the deck. It doesn't stop in the major arcana only. This is White Dove is the name of this Wheel of Fortune. This one here is called what is this? Stuttered Beauty. Stuttered Beauty, and that's Justice, number 11. This one here is called Mock Supplicant. Mock Supplicant, and that's the Hangman. Tiny Little Whirring Sound. The text isn't the easiest to read, which is fine because I would assume you would mainly want to look at that. So this one here is called Faltering Voice, and that's Temperance. Best Friends, this is the name of the art, that's the Devil. So I'm going to call out occasionally the name of the artwork and then the Tower, and I feel like the name of the artwork is part of the process for me personally, as well as the image. This is Pegae. Paige? Sorry, is that Paige? I don't know whether that's supposed to be Latin or that's supposed to be a name. Sorry for any mispronunciation, which no doubt I will do. Agnes, this is Star. Okay, so that would be Paige, I think. P-E-G-A-E, that's a Tower. This is Agnes, Star. This is the Moon, it never looks away, and this is the Moon. Memories of Time, the Sun. Rustle of the Sea, this is Judgment. Lost Equilibrium, this is the World. Inverted Glass, this is Ace of Cups. First Birth, this is Two of Cups. Blood Sister, this is Three of Cups. Absolutely Modern, Four of Cups. Lilith, Five of Cups. Wish to Tell, Six of Cups. Extraordinary Tenderness, Seven of Cups. enlightened self-interest, 8 of Cups. I don't think that if you look at the title of the art and then try to connect it with the archetype of the tarot, I don't think necessarily there's a strong connection. But if you let the 3 work together, I feel it's one of those things. It reminds me of the Connected and Free Oracle. It reminds me of the Ophidia Rosa. The 3 elements somehow work together in a sort of synergetical way. That, you know, the whole is bigger than the sums of the parts. So this one's called Simplest of Example. Simplest of Examples, 9 of Cups. Secret Heart, 10 of Cups. My Little Girl, Page of Cups. Absence of Light, Knight of Cups. Correspondence with a Child, Queen of Cups. Occupying himself with her, Knight of Cups. King of Cups, sorry. Chantel, Ace of Pentacles. Red Roses, 2 of Pentacles. Monument to the Past, 3 of Pentacles. Bind It Forever, 4 of Pentacles. Nobody Says a Word, 5 of Pentacles. Rejection of Virtue, 6 of Pentacles. Spring 1, 7 of Pentacles. Crystalline Renaissance, 8 of Pentacles. The Accompanist, 9 of Pentacles. This is what drew me into this deck, this particular. It's so vibrant, it's so dreamy, it's so outside of this world, and yet you can clearly see that these are models, underwater photos. These are Gold Dress, 10 of Pentacles. Diana, Page of Pentacles. Ernest, Knight of Pentacles. Bathed in Light, Queen of Pentacles. Sheltered, King of Pentacles. Exotic Warrior, Ace of Swords. Mind Whisper, 2 of Swords. Hunted, the Hunter, 3 of Swords. Somewhere with Me, 4 of Swords. Leah, 5 of Swords. Reason for Defeat, 6 of Swords. Strangling, 7 of Swords. Pounding at the Gate, 8 of Swords. Filled My Thoughts, 9 of Swords. Lucky to Exist, 10 of Swords. Present Circumstances, Page of Swords. Lustful Males, Knight of Swords. Swallowing Butterflies, Queen of Swords. Most Dangerous of All the Lies, King of Swords. Pegae, Ace of Swords, 8 of Wands. Hopelessly Blind, 2 of Wands. Golden Girl, 3 of Wands. The Secret, 4 of Wands. This is the only monochromatic photo in the deck. Oh, black and white, shall I say. Difficult Love, 5 of Wands. Grandmother's Footsteps, 6 of Wands. Symphony, 7 of Wands. Wild Ride to Heaven, 8 of Wands. Waiting, 9 of Wands. Small Exhalations, 10 of Wands. Red Cloth, Page of Wands. Stepping Out of Herself, Knight of Wands. Sunflower, Queen of Wands. Dance Partner, King of Wands. Now, the downside that not only myself but others have also mentioned is that this is not printed on cardstock. These are printed on paper stock. If you bend this, it's very hard for it to bend back. It's very thin, very flimsy, and it doesn't feel like it has a core. As you can see, the lamination isn't very protective of the surface of the cards itself. I haven't really shuffled this, but as you can see, there's a lot of scuffing on the surface already. And the back is a bit weird. No one so far can make sense of it, and the fact that it is bordered on 2 sides, the left and the bottom, and borderless at the top and the right hand side, feels slightly awkward as well. And the fact that the tiny borders are filled with lines and things, but it's not a big deal to me because the name of the card is quite prominent. It just feels a bit fussy and not very clean. It's just, I don't know. I like the sort of muted gold though. I think it goes very well. The other thing is the back. The back's a bit mysterious. As you can see, it's not the same, and each of those little squares are in different proportion on some of these cards. My own theory at the moment is that it has something to do with the element of the card. So this is, the biggest one is fire or wand, and so that's the wand suit. So my theory is that the bigger the square, the more prominent that element is in the particular card. So that one square at the back there is bigger than this one square. So I'm thinking this might be the court card. No, it's not. You see what I mean? There just isn't any pattern. And then it got smaller again. So where are we now? It's the wands. And then now here, that is equal to that. I suspect we're still in the wands. Yeah, I think, I'm not sure. I haven't quite made sense of the back, but I think because they're actually different from each other, I suspect it has something to do with the elements of the cards in front of it and how it flows from one card to the other. I have no idea. But this is the Abyssal Tarot. There's a number there, which is, the box is like so glossy. I think it's soft, but it's good enough, I think, for me personally. We have the booklet here. We have the signature there and the cover here. As you can see, 2005. The images are owned by Shelley Corbett, but the text and the concept are owned by Ahlbom. Not sure how to pronounce that. Ahlbom. Number 216. For me, that doesn't really mean anything other than the fact that they've signed this. This is the 216th deck that they've signed. That's all it means to me. And the booklet has the various explanation, positions and their meaning: west, south, left, crown, heart, base, north, right, south, right, east, and then direction and their tendencies: west, left, east, right, and then the suits and their attributes, court cards and their rules, the minor numbers and their values, the aces and their essences. And then it has this explanation here. Feel free to pause and take a closer look at each of the passages. I'm going to flick through all the way to the back just to show you. Now all that, these ones here, sorry I forgot to mention, has something to do with this spread. And I found this spread to be quite complex and quite time consuming, but I rather like it, and I'm not one to use positional spread. I haven't tried it, but reading it, I really like it, but it is not something that I will do in a hurry. It's called The Path Through the Abyss, and so there's the crown, the base, left, east, right, west, and then the card number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. And then as you can see, there are arrows in both directions between each card. So you can see that's it's one of those things that you might want to do like on a yearly basis or something. I certainly wouldn't do this every day. So I think that's quite a unique spread. And then it explains the position a bit more here. So yeah, this is not a review really. This is more like a flip through. So west is up here, and then you see here west, intuition, sensitivity, empathy, and love. So that's on this side. And then north, left, symbols, icons, idols, heroes, art, creativity, handiwork. North, left, north, left. This one here. And then south, left, faith, spirituality, belief, trust, imagination, fantasy, dreams. South, left. So south is this way, because if that's west, if that's east, that's north, that's south. So south and left, this side here. You can see it looks quite complex anyway. I haven't tried it, so I can't really say at the moment. So that's the Abyssal Tarot. And when I have spent a bit more time with it, I will definitely, or I don't know, I can't make any promises, but I'll get back to you about how it functioned. But otherwise, I feel that this is one of those very abstract decks, a bit like this one here, which I'll talk a bit more about in a separate video. In an upcoming video, perhaps I'll record it after this one. But this is definitely a breakthrough deck for me, because it allows me to approach this kind of deck now, while before I'll be quite I don't know, I probably wouldn't know what to do with them. But I have to say that I have been approaching tarot in a very, very cerebral way for over 3 years now. And so this change of gear, I think, is perhaps about time. So that's the Abyssal Tarot. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.